Hi everyone, so today's video is about what happened yesterday evening to us. I was playing with Erie and Zabala in Eriestown. We were building a greenhouse initially, and this is something you can do. If you just all have a spawn code, you can all go to the same town and you can all play in that town and just have a good time, do whatever you want. So we were building a greenhouse, as one does, but by the time we were finished, I was getting a little bored with the solo play with us three pros in Eriestown, and I asked if they wanted to twin. Well, since there's three of us, I asked if they wanted to triplet. And they were also in the mood for tripleting, and I am very lucky with my friends that they are always in the mood for tripleting or playing in random towns, but also simultaneously, sometimes you can just go like, hey, can we play in an advanced town? I don't feel like dealing with newbies or something. And they're also game for that. So we have a very good understanding there, and we have a lot of variation in how we play the game. Like we can solo, we can go public, we can do eve runs, we do all the things. All the things are done, and it's just a lot of fun that there's this possibility for variation. But triplets was not a great idea because there's still a lot of newbies, especially like when it is between like, I don't know, 10 p.m., 1 a.m. European time. There are a lot of newbies online, and you guys get to see how much they struggled with keeping us alive. So have fun! Okay, so first life, waiting to be born as triplets. We've all indicated the same code, and we're basically just waiting for the other friends to all press the play button at the same time. So sometimes this takes a bit, but in this case we were just waiting and hoping that we would be born somewhere. And there you can see we were born to a nameless mother in a tiny town who is not acknowledging our existence, and it seems like Zabala has just timed out. Sorry, forgot to be infertile again. Oh, great, Mum. Me and Erie immediately go sad face, but we understand. We know what this means. It means slash die. It means we have to go elsewhere. So we try again. Twin code bread. We try connecting. Waiting to be born as triplets. Okay, we are in the Valore family. That is a big family. That's got 8 people in. Well, of course, us 3, so 5 people in it besides us. What doesn't immediately give me good faith is the fact Mum is not wearing shoes, but, you know, details. But there is like a chair, and we can see already a bit of a building there. So hopefully Mum can keep us alive. We're not sure though. We are very, very naked. We're zooming out. Okay, town looks nice. Town also looks slightly familiar, to be honest. And there's other people there. And Mum's very friendly. Hello, children. Hi, Mum. Feed me. I'm starving. Please. Give me food. Yes. Alright, there we go. Well, Mum's feeding us, and we're walking into the kitchen, because, you know, we can assume Mum's gonna want some food. She just took the side entrance and we're all following her. But we're inside the kitchen. Now, keep in mind, we are naked babies, which means we are getting hungry really fast. If we had clothes, we wouldn't be hungry as fast. But in this case, we were very hungry, so... But we were together and it was looking good. Lots of people in town. So, doesn't seem problematic at all. But I was once again starving, and my sisters were starving too. So that wasn't great. And that was baby Neela. Oh, it's Neela in the town with us. That's good. Neela, feed us. We're starving. Mum wants to give us clothes, which is a good thing to do, but we're kind of hungry. Oh, there goes the first. That was Zabala, I think. Oh no. Well, we are triplets, which means... it's either the 3 of us or it's none of us. So we couldn't stay. The good thing was I don't think, well, she hadn't given us clothes and we didn't have a name, so we could just die and try again. Waiting to be born as triplets again. Oh gods. Who knows what it will give? And at that moment, I hadn't checked how many families were online, so I had no idea what family we would get into. And we were born into the Valori family again. Now, the good news was there was 3 women inside, and one of them was, well, Mila was gone. So it was another baby there. Our old mum, but we had a new mum now, and it was looking more promising. I hoped. I thought it was looking more promising, maybe it wasn't. And we could see that our old mum was trying to give us clothes, but kind of failing. Just tossing the clothes at our feet is not dressing us, so it isn't providing any warmth. It's just a difference between left-clicking and right-clicking. If you're struggling to do something, just use the other mouse button and it should be the solution. So, yeah, that's the case. Once again, we were down to 1 food pip. We were not very... we were still starving a bit. But let's see, maybe this time our mum could keep us alive. We were looking around a bit, and as I said before, this sound looked familiar. I had a feeling I'd been here long ago, once upon a dream. And yeah, so I was having a bit of a look around, and I was like, wait, look at that kitchen. Look at the way the tables are placed between the shelves. This is an old meta. This is how we used to make our kitchens. And that was like a year ago, like at the start of the map. Tables were passed through, which means you could pass through tables, which means they weren't blocking, and which made them perfect to put in that position. But yeah, that wasn't great. Also, our mum was walking away. She wanted to dress us, I think, and we just wanted a fire, because a fire would help us survive and not go hungry every 2 seconds. Mom was once again responding slowly. The other woman had also disappeared, making it even harder on Mom. My sisters were starving. They were going, F, come with me. There's clothes up there. Now that is a good instinct to dress us. That is a really good instinct. Because that would also mean we wouldn't starve as fast. But then, yeah, one of us was dead again. There we went. So the 3 brothers could not survive in the Valori family. I wasn't sure if it was Eerie or Zabala, and to this day, I still don't know who it was. Now, that baby says Zabala. Oh, so they say Zop me, so that was Zabala, I guess. Okay, so Eerie was the first to die in that life. So there we go. We were once again dead. But we didn't give up just yet. We got reborn. We had the rest of the evening to kill. We just hoped that one day we could survive. Now, this was maybe the least promising start of them all, because this mom apparently lived in an Eve camp, and Eve camps are notoriously difficult. And she was sort of not responding the first 10 seconds at all, so that wasn't very, wasn't giving us a lot of trust, but she did say hi, which was great. And she didn't have a name, so once again, I thought maybe they were very new. We weren't sure what their skill level was. But they were picking us up. They were giving us names. Very nice, because many didn't even get to the point of giving us names, let's be real. Did we get a name until now? I don't think we even got a name. But this one at least was with the program in that regard. So that's Francesca, that was Eerie, which is a bit of a weird name. And I said the first letter of my name was J. Now, I don't always do that. I don't always say, oh, my name starts with J or something, because I don't always want to give away that it's me. But when we're playing with triplets, having your name start with that letter can really help just know who your sisters are. Because if the names were all very random, I'd have a harder time knowing who would be Zabala and who would be Eerie. So, yeah. My name was Jazine. Jazine. What kind of name is that? I mean, I'm not complaining. It's a good name. Jaziel in the game. Oh well. Jazine would have been better though. Funny name. Okay, so our mom, looking for some food, munching berries. You know, we can you know, we can understand why you munch berries when you have triplets in an Eve town. I mean, we are big fans of yumming. Also, that has to be Eerie above the tree, because only Eerie would walk away. Yeah, it's Eerie. Eerie has a tendency to stand somewhere where you can't catch her if she's not hungry. And then when she's hungry, she will get closer. But she's like right F. So we are riding F when we get hungry. Also, I'm at 0 pips. Is she going to keep us alive? Yes. So I was at 0 pips. If she'd been like a few seconds later, I would have died. But there's a lot of love here. She's very sweet. She's saying, I love you all. We love you too, Mom. Yay. And so far, we're all staying alive. We are 2.7 years old. It looks like we are going to survive. We live. Yes, we live, Eerie. We lived. 3 is 3 times better. So yeah, our mom, really sweet person, apparently. We survived. We lived. Finally, the triplets are no longer in danger of dying. We can finally live a life with this family. Now, we were not entirely certain what was going on. As in, it was a nice little town, but there was no Eve in sight. But we assumed that, you know, Eve had maybe died, and we were just taking care of Eve's town, as it happens, right? But Eve forgot to name themselves. We got some clothes. I got a nice little farmer outfit. I was making some corn. But then we saw an unnamed stranger was killed by stakes at 17, like in the top right corner. I was like, what? But it's just the 4 of us. It's just us and Mum. Who is being killed by stakes? Where is everyone? And Mum didn't have a name, so I wanted to name Mum, to at least give Mum a name. But I was a bit too small to give a name yet. So I thought maybe they are the Eve. I still thought at this moment they were the Eve. And then she said I had a shit mom. So I was like, okay. Oh. So we had to give them a name. So she Eve? So was your mom Eve? They are in the West. So we were like, oh shit. What? The entire family is in the West? So are we like... I don't know, is a satellite city or what? So I found this place, no? So we were a bit confused about what was going on with all of this, and we were all paying attention, because this would decide whether or not we should play here or not. Okay, so Eerie managed to name them, said you're B, and her name became Bea, so our mom is now named Bea. They kept respawning, so apparently Eve kept respawning. That's why they're Eve, right? Then my mom walked away from them towards the east, because they are in the west, found this spot, and apparently set up their camp here. And it's a little, you know, it's a little weird, not gonna lie. So I had a little bit of doubt about it, but I think Eerie had more doubt. So Eerie was like, why are we here? You can see them asking that, not with Eve. Why are we here, not with Eve? And Mom's like, I left. Oh. So I was reading that, but I was also still farming. I needed to get the farm going, right? We weren't going to survive if we didn't have some proper food, so... yeah. But I was also still having a bit of doubt, like, I found this place when foraging. We weren't entirely certain what to do. I just stayed. Oh, and you know, the O response, not always a good one. It means we're thinking and we're not sure what to do. I asked, was Eve a noob? Important question. Maybe we should find Eve, Eerie says, and I had to agree with her. Did Eve die? But at the same time, it doesn't seem like Eve died, because we were still getting messages of unnamed strangers nearby dying who could have been children of Eve, because Eve apparently doesn't name people. So we were uncertain what was happening. Also, I was still taking care of the crops when I could. Then Zabala said, I don't see the point. Or no, that was Eerie. Eerie said, I don't see the point. Zabala wanted to go for ropes. I was like, what do we do? What do we do? This isn't Eve's town. Mom wanted us to go for ropes. Mom was really sweet. And I kind of feel bad for Mom. So yeah. I said try and find Eve. Because it is someone else's town, as Eerie said. And if we could find Eve, then we could help at the Eve camp, and our life would not be in vain. We would actually be helping out with the people who own the spawn code, and not just in a random camp that no one's ever going to be able to return to. We just don't want to waste our time too much, you know? Like, I mean, it's a game. It's not always about, you know, having the going back to that town. We know that there is always a chance that we might not, but in a town like this one, it is for sure that you won't be able to go back to the town. So we decided to go and check for where Eve lived. So we said, Mom, and we tossed our stuff at her. Because, you know, if she had more babies, which she could have, then she deserved to have the clothes for those babies. We didn't need those clothes. This isn't our town. We were trying to explain it to her. I don't think she fully understood. I said this town will never be alive and there's no spawn code, so we go to Eve, who has the spawn code and can build for generations. Yeah, and Eerie was like, we go on adventure. Yes, we go adventure. So it was just the three of us, butt naked, a few sharp stones and a basket. Bye, Mama, love you. Yeah, we still love you. Eve said, or not Eve, Mom said, I start new times all the time. And Eerie said, you shouldn't really. I don't worry about that. And Eerie said, you shouldn't really split away from town. Also, another unnamed stranger died at 21, so it was weird. We weren't sure why people were dying. And Eerie was trying to teach Mom to use a spawn code so she could always return to the same town, and she didn't have to start a new one every single time she played away from the town she was born in. That's bad. It's how to put it, it's not the meta of the game, and it is a little problematic if you split away from existing towns. So yeah, we were trying to discourage her from doing that. But I found the Eve, I think? Are you the Eve? Found a random stranger in our same biome, and the person's like, no? Huh? I was confused. Are you Eve's child? Like, something had to be going on here. Does she live west? We weren't sure what was happening. No? And I was like, huh? It's like, I found this stranger. I found stranger. Eerie is still explaining, you shouldn't really run away from towns. But I found the stranger, and my sisters were coming. They were like, what? See, there's the person, there's the stranger. Hi, who are you? She's not Eve. We were so confused still. It was a very confusing life, guys. I'm just saying. We are children. No, I said, yeah, I didn't really know what was going on, and now Eerie was interrogating this stranger that we found. I was starving, so I had to go get some food. I wasn't going to die, just as we'd found. Who could possibly be Eve? Maybe, even if they said no. But then I was like, huh, these are signs of life. Look at this. There's baskets, there's rabbit furs, there's even budlogs, which means there's an axe nearby. More budlogs, dead bodies. Oh, a shelter and another person. Look at that. My grandma! Are you the Eve or the child of Eve? Like, I wasn't sure who it was. They weren't even responding to me. I was like, wait, who the fuck is this? My mother, Bia, was killed by a wolf at 50. No, that's foreshadowing, if anything. Oh, poor mother. I wonder if she just ran into it by accident, or if she decided to kill herself. And I went to my sister's like, I found Grandma. I found Grandma. What? Yeah, they couldn't believe it. Here. She doesn't speak. It's true, she didn't. She hadn't said a single word. This way. My little sisters were all... by this time we're 15.9. We all went no babies, so we wouldn't have any babies while we were here, because we still weren't sure what the hell was going on here. And I was like, where'd she go? I couldn't see her anymore. Where was Grandma? It was a very weird time, but there she was. Finally. Hi, Grandma. It's Grandma. Grandma. Imagine these 3 adult women running up to you and just being like, Grandma! This place is so strange. Tell us about your life, Grandma. Who are you? Hi. Also, Grandma's still not speaking. We were very confused by this. Grandma can't speak, I think. I'm so confused. Yep. That was the sentiment for all of us. Français? We were trying different languages now, because we were like, what the hell is going on with this woman? Espagnol? Parlez-vous français? We just... And the other Eve was like, she's a special creature. Deutsch? Nederlands? Like, anything? We love you, Grandma. Czech? We were just like, please talk to us. We will adapt, Grandma. She is fascinating. Russian? Well, I couldn't speak Russian, but you know, it's still worth asking if she's Russian, maybe. How can we communicate? You're a grandma. Yeah, we named her Granite by saying you're a grandma. She won't tell us much. And yeah, I think she kind of wanted to get away from us. She was probably overwhelmed by all the attention. But she had lived a long life, so maybe she was the Eve. Were you the Eve? We weren't sure. We still weren't sure, because as long as they didn't name themselves, then maybe they were not the Eve? We still didn't know. If you are the Eve, pick up this stone. She was not picking up the stone. So my idea is that the stranger was the Eve. And she was just a child. Maybe. And then Eerie said, if you're not the Eve, pick up this bowl. And then she picked up the bowl, so she is not the Eve. She communicates, but at least we had established communication with our grandmother. So for some reason, Grandma couldn't type. Still weird. Told you she is special, Granger said. She's lovely. Who is your mum, Granger? We were still confused about ownership of this town and whatnot, but it appeared that this place was at least a home for a family. There were more people here. Also, I completely understood why our mum decided to move away from this biome. This biome is not very popular to live in. People usually don't live in swamp biomes. So going into a green biome just looks prettier. And I do think that our mom picked a prettier spot to live. Yeah. Yeah, and then pick up the bowl if this is the original Eve's town. So our grandma picked up the bowl, confirming that this was the Eve town. So we knew, like, okay, Eve must have lived here once, which means Eve might return, and we think Granger has the spawn code too. So we could basically make ourselves at home here. But we were still confused about Granger not being an Eve, and Granger said her keyboard refuses to work, so we finally knew what was the problem with Grandma. She's mute since birth. She told me she loves you. Aw. So those two were in voice chat, that was confirmed. Love you, Grandma. We love you too, Grandma. I was like, well, if this is gonna be our home now, I might as well start doing a little bit of work here. I was checking what needed to be done. Was also checking for a little bit of food. But we were very naked, so I was already getting the idea that maybe I should go and do some hunting. That seemed like the best thing to do, because then I could get closer to family. So I got dressed, because, you know, when you go hunting, you want some clothes. You don't want to starve. You know what I said about clothes. The more naked you are, the faster you starve. So I said, I will hunt for clothes. And yeah. And I left my sisters with Eve and the friend, and I ran off and I went to hunt some wolves. Also, there were a lot of seals there, and I was making a mental note to return for those while trying to catch a wolf. And because I didn't have a knife yet, sadly, I was kind of stuck for now. But I was like, I can kill them. I can come back for the fur later on. There was another wolf, so I was like, okay, cool, let's go. Next wolf. There were 2 wolves close to each other, but I was like, that's fine. That's okay. So I started hunting the wolf, and suddenly I found myself in the middle of 3 wolves, and I was like, oh shit. I was struggling, and then that wolf made a movement that I had not seen coming, and then there was another wolf, and I ran into a wolf, and I was dying. It was the end of my life. After all this time, after all this time, I always say after all this time, that's wrong English. After all this time, finding a home, I was dumb enough to get bit by a wolf in a town without medicine. The wolf got me. I only got 1 wolf. I only killed 1 wolf. Also, watch my hunting video, guys, because this is not how you should be hunting, okay? I'm sad. We can get reborn if you all agree. Is it more fun being triplets, which is what we were doing. We were tripleting. We didn't want to play solo, but I was really dumb here, just dying to a wolf. But I got cocky. I thought I was invincible. I thought I could kill any wolf I saw. But apparently I was wrong. Apparently that was not the case. So we were waiting to be born as triplets once more. Man, we had lived so many lives at this point. It had only been half an hour, and what was this, our 4th or 5th life already? We were not doing fantastic with our survival ratio. And back again in the Valore town. We still see new people, but we were a little bit more hopeful this time, and there were 2 people apparently feeding us. We were right at the close, which is so important. Because if you get close, you don't starve as fast. So if they could dress us fast, then we would be way better as babies than if we were all naked. Now, if you have 1 child, it's not as important if you don't dress them. But if you have 3 children, the clothes are really necessary to make sure they don't starve. So it was really good that we were getting some clothing. And you can also see it in the bottom right corner. You just see our food meter, our temperature meter go up the more clothes we get on us. And that is what makes us starve not as quickly. So you see that we went from super cold to like medium cold, which is just going to make it so that we don't starve as fast. Also, it's not just clothes that keep us from starving, it's also backpacks. So if you're not wearing a backpack, you can still be you can be warmer by wearing a backpack. It gives a little bit of insulation, it makes your temperature rise a little bit. Shoes help, skirt, shirt, hat, they're all important, so yeah. It was looking really good for us, and yeah. 1 person left though, so I was a little bit afraid that we might not survive. And I was trying to get that poi pack. There was a poi pack there that they weren't giving me. I was the only one without a backpack, so I was like, give me the poi pack. Also, they gave me the backpack with the pants before. I don't want that. I don't want the backpack with pants. And Eerie was given a backpack with pants too, so Eerie put it back as well. And I was still waiting for them to see the poi pack. It was like, poi pack, poi pack. Like, hey, here. Oh, yeah, they were trying to name us, and Eerie kept running around. And I was like, Eerie, name. Like, stand still. They're trying to name you. Eventually, Eerie got named Tre. I was Dua. And Zabala was Uno. I was like, Dua Lipa? I was like, nice, yeah. I was happy to have a name. We didn't always get names as babies. So it was good to get one at long last, and it looked like we were surviving. I kind of wanted the short skirt, not the long one, so I gave Eerie the long one. But I don't think Eerie would stand for that. Oh, the other person was back too. Mom was back. Mother just returned, even though the other woman was very eager to adopt us. Now Eerie had spotted the poi pack, and Eerie wanted the poi pack. And she freaking got away with it too. Look at that. They're just giving her the poi pack. It was my poi pack. God damn it. Oof. Oof, I said. But we had survived. And what happens in this life is a good life. I'm telling you. We had a pretty good life. And we will expand on that in the next video. Because the next video is going to be about chasing after a bell. Which I know is something many newbies love to do. and we will explain how to do it. Okay, so yeah, stay tuned for the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.